Hi, a little bit about me. I got married when I was 31. I had my first child at 30. Yes, I got the cart before the horse. And then we got married, and I had five more children. And I was a stay at home wife. I had worked all my life before then, and we had six children total. I homeschooled them. I cooked at home. I cleaned pretty well. I mean, the rooms the company would come in were always nice and clean, but the upstairs and the downstairs, the basement, forget about it. I mean, being a mom is hard. Being a working mom would be crazy hard. And it's now a thing. Trad wives, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this. These young girls are given an incredible uh, order that they have to try and live up to. And I wanted to debunk a little bit of it because some of it's really squirrely. Hannah Nealman, have you ever heard of her? Ballerina Farms. I mean, she's an exquisitely beautiful woman. And she lives this aesthetic life, a farm, it's a farming life. It's kind of a homesteading thing, and it's just beautiful. And I'm not going to lie, I'd kind of like to have that life myself. So prior to marrying her husband, Daniel, she had been given a full ride scholarship at Juilliard. She was going to be a ballerina. That was going to be her life. That's what her love was, and that's what she was going to be. And she had such talent, she was secure about her future. So when she met Daniel, whose father owns JetBlue, whose father is a billionaire, he asked her out right away. And she declined. And he asked her out five more times. And she declined five more times. But not to be deterred, and Daniel found out that she was going to be taking a flight from Salt Lake City, Utah. You guessed it, they're both Mormons, which adds another layer to this whole love story. And he used his power of his father to buy the seat next to her. And when she boarded the plane, there was Daniel sitting there. And Hannah was naive enough to think it was just a coincidence. It wasn't. So she was forced to talk to Daniel for this whole flight. Where was she going to go? Practically before the plane landed, wedding bells were ringing and they were going to be wed. Now, Hannah had suggested that they get to know each other and wait about a year. And Daniel said, I don't think so. We're going to get married now. And then they got married. And Hannah was talking about her schooling and her ballet. And Daniel said, gee, I don't think so. We're going to have children. And so he told her that her life as a ballerina had to be forgotten, which she did. And I can understand that. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't want to do anything other than be with my children, take care of my family. I'm not knocking her for that at all. But I gotta admit, it's a little bit creepy the way he hunted her. So they got married, and now they have eight children in 10 years. There's rumors that she might be pregnant again. I'm not quite sure. So they're both cradle-born Mormons. They had their covenant marriage and the whole 9 years. I even think they have the magic underwear. I mean, they're real Mormons. So Daniel, he wanted to be a real-life farmer. And so just like every other farmer, he did what they all do. He bought a 325-acre farm, and he stocked it up with cattle and chickens, sheep and pigs. And they also have a meat packing plant, and they produce baked goods, beeswax candles, honey, of course, sourdough bread starter, and clothing and so on. Sourdough bread. I love sourdough bread. Do I make it? Heck no. Especially because of my MS, I'm a real slob in the kitchen. I shake and I drop things very easily. But sourdough bread has a weird connotation, weird dog whistle, I think they call it, in trad wife world, because it kind of gets into white nationalism. I know, it's kind of strange. Now, Hannah's won beauty contests. I mean, she is exquisitely beautiful, and she's got those long legs, and she will do ballerina twirls and pirouettes while she's farming or cooking, like all farm wives do. But everything is filmed. She has people who film her TikToks and her videos. So everything is beautiful. Everything is placed just so. That I know and I was a student of Martha Stewart, and the Fly Lady could never have been able to put anything together to look that beautiful and well placed. Never. Most wives can't, I mean, because real life happens. Now, Daniel thought it would be best if she raised her children and do all of the things she does, making the bread and doing all of the things without a nanny. She does not have a nanny, but she is required to do a lot of the stuff herself. Although the farm and all of the things that they have out there, the candle making, all of that stuff, they do have farming staff to do it, farm hands, I guess you would call them. But other than that, she does everything herself. She makes all of her food and things from scratch, kind of a little bit like Nara Smith. And I'll tell you about her later on. Um, and when she's making her sourdough, she's in her beautiful kitchen with her $30,000 oven, and she's baby wearing while she's making her sourdough, and her other children are tugging on her apron. And that is reality. I mean, that's what the kids do when you're trying to cook, when you have children. And I know I cooked with a baby on my hip, but I tell you, nothing was as beautifully filmed. If you saw me, you would have thought I was Mad Madam Mim. Everything's nice, and Daniel is always hovering nearby, not far from her. Another thing is that she states quite often that she gets fatigued. Yeah, think she gets so tired that she has to stay in bed for days. And he is the one who takes care of the kids because he's a hands-on father. And good, that's great. I mean, he should. If the wife's sick, the dad takes over. I understand all of those things. It's just something strange about the whole thing, you know. I know that when she had, I don't know what number baby, she was going to enter into the Mrs. America contest. And so she had just delivered her child, and within a few weeks, I mean, I don't even think it was the 6 months postpartum yet, and she had put on her glittery ball gown and went out for her Mrs. America. I think she won that one. I know she won one of the contests she was in, and that's interesting. Could you imagine just having delivered a child and still having all of the, things that go on after you've had a child, and you're sore and you're tired and your hormones are all over the place, walking across the stage in high heels in a sparkly gown to win an award, but she did it. And I mean, I don't take that away from her because the whole thing is just so orchestrated. And I think that's the thing that gets to me. I want young women to know that's not normal. That's not real life. And some of you, maybe you'll marry a man with money. Maybe you'll have your own money. Maybe you'll have a beautiful $1 million house. Or maybe you'll be like most of us and have a house that mortgage just practically takes everything you've got every month. And then add to that the uh, property tax that you have to come up with twice a year. And that's more realistic. And maybe instead of being able to make everything from scratch, you're going to go take a dollar loaf of bread off the shelf, if you can find a dollar loaf these days, and feed your kids that. And sometimes you're going to take frozen pizza out and put it in front of your kids and call it a day. I mean, that's the way things happened when I was raising my kids. I mean, I would cook from scratch, yes, but a lot of times it was just catch as catch can. And I think that's a big thing with me. Not only do these incel boys think that they're going to get a young girl, um, and who has not been brought up this way, I don't know, the whole thing is kind of sad. And they're going to have this strange little Stepford wife. Um, and again, I believe in the nuclear family, the father, the mother, the children, all of the children with pretty much the same baby dad, these things I do believe in. But there's something just strange about this and giving young people an unrealistic view of what the world's going to be like. So, anyway, have you ever seen this lady and what do you think about it? Like I said, I'll do a couple of others. Also, in social media, because pendulums always swing. They swing one way and then they go all the way over to the other. There are some mothers that are called lazy moms. Now, that's not lazy mom. These lazy moms absolutely have mold growing on their dirty dishes in the sink. So the pendulum swings, and in the middle are these children that are being, either stylized to the nth degree or totally neglected. Anyway, What are your thoughts about it? I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.